Slamdown is sponsored by Body Slam and Jam and WWE Smack Talk. Welcome to another show of Slamdown. Hang on, that light's a bit bright. There we go, that's better. For people that don't know, the latest news that have just come out from Drew Galloway, that he is no longer with TNA. Now, I've seen a lot of people rumoring saying, oh, he's off to WWE, they're going to do this, he's gone from blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. Rumours after rumours after rumours. The only reason why I can see that he has not re-signed with TNA is, and I pin it down to, we heard about Mike Bennett being on an exclusive contract, and I think that's what they were trying to do with Drew Galloway, because Drew Galloway is one of TNA's biggest draws. So I will put my money on is they're trying to get him to sign a exclusive contract and not letting him perform at companies like ICW and WCPW. As I am from the UK and I'm very familiar with the indie scene over here, and Drew Galloway performs a lot on the indie circuit, so I'm guessing they were trying to do the same deal as they got with Mike Bennett, and also with them controlling the bookings. That's why I feel he hasn't re-signed, because end of the day, if he's being told that he can't wrestle at WCPW and ICW where he performs at every show, and he's very loyal to them companies as well as Impact, that to me is the only reason I can see why he's left TNA. Because he's very passionate about the UK scenes and believes on the progress of the UK wrestling and where it's leading to. So I don't believe he's WWE bound. I cannot see that happening. He loves the UK scene so much. So for him to join the WWE, I can't see it happening. I really cannot see it happening. The only explanation from my standpoint is that TNA are not allowing him to perform on those other scenes. So that's the only logic that makes sense to me. As a fan of TNA, I'm gutted because he is one of my favourites. I think the transformation we've seen since he's been in TNA is phenomenal. When he was in WWE, we saw him playing that three-man band gimmick, which was bloody awful. And then he comes to TNA, reinvents himself as Drew Galloway. His promos are amazing. His ability is on point. So, to me, it's a big loss for TNA. Big loss. if what I'm saying is right, and this is why he hasn't re-signed, I can't understand TNA, because end of the day they allow Cody Rhodes to perform at Ring of Honor, to perform anywhere he wants. Why not do that with Drew Galloway? You know, why not just say to him, look, you want TNA, but we'll give you freedom to do whatever you want as long as you come to the tapings. Can't see an issue in that. I can't get my head around it. You know, I think I'm not even going to say a little loss for TNA. I think it's probably the biggest loss. You know, he did everything. He put everything into his performances. You know, before he came in, TNA was a bit up in the air. Many problems of what's happening to the company. We've seen Samoa Joe leave. You know, we've seen a lot of good wrestlers leave. And, you know, for him to come in at that point, it was like, okay, we're going somewhere here now. We're protected. And now for him to suddenly just go, it's like, right, okay. We've got Mike Bennett, we've got Moose, we've got EC. But it just feels we haven't got that top draw. You know, the Alberto Del Rio signing's not happening because basically from what's going round, that the money he wants is not worth it. He's not worth that type of capital. So there's a lot of things that's happening that's up in the air. I know there'd be talent coming in. You know, I don't know. Another thing I want to quickly talk about before I actually review Impact is the Hardys. The Hardys are probably one of the best things that's going on in TNA. Now, from my standpoint, it would be a bit stupid for TNA to let the Hardys go. You know, at the moment, the Hardys is probably one of the best things going for Impact Wrestling. So to let the Hardys go would be a bad move. I don't think the Hardys actually want to leave TNA personally, because if you think about it, they get a lot more freedom. Everything's been good. I think a lot of these issues may relate to contract changes. I think that's going to be one of the main issues. Anthem running it as from a business standpoint and wanting to be able to keep people locked down and have people exclusive to the brand is probably what Anthem are thinking. But for them to do that, they need to let Drew Galloway, Hardys have their freedom. You know, they're big stars. They need to have that freedom. Get new talent in and put them on the contracts. Existing talent, just give them the same old contract. Keep them happy. You know, you're building the brand. You're fixing TNA. You're bringing new talent to mix with the established talent. Don't let people like Hardys or Drew Galloway leave. You know, hopefully TNA could make another offer to Drew and bring him back in. You know, fingers crossed that could happen. But the Hardys, it's all rumours. You know, don't believe everything that comes out of David Meltzer's mouth. Please don't. You know, this guy comes up with all sorts of crap. He's basically been saying TNA's been closing down for the last few bloody years and it's still standing. So, you know, you've got to give TNA time. You know, TNA in its heyday was run by Jeff Jarrett. The same staff they've got now, minus Vince Russo. That's the only person missing from that equation. So like I said, give it time. You know, if you disagree with me, put it in the comments. You know, I like to read your comments while I'm on air. Also, I want to apologise. I was a little bit late going on today due to the fact that I was talking to TNA shop because they've bought their deal of 5 T-shirts for $20. I'm already wearing one that I ordered when they did it for 24 hours, my Jeff Hardy T-shirt. But I'll be making more orders. So I've just been talking to them about international shipping. But anyway, the Hardys, don't believe in everything you read. If they leave, they leave. TNA's got to look for the future. I think the Hardys could probably only stay at TNA for another year. Anyway, due to the fact they're getting old, TNA need to make new stars. They need to make stars like they used to do, like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. TNA needs to go back to that. It's going to take time. We just have to sit and wait. But, one thing I have been vocal about, I'm not happy about the Wolves splitting up. I think that's a wrong decision. But we'll just have to wait and see what goes on from there. One thing that I really was impressed with Impact Wrestling was the start of the show where they began with memory for George the Animal Steel, Chavo Guerrero, Ivan Koloff, I can never pronounce the names properly, and Nicole Bass. I thought that was absolutely brilliant by TNA doing that, especially when these wrestlers have never been in TNA. So I thought that was a nice way to tribute them. We were in the Hardy compound where Matt Hardy is feeding carrots to his giraffe, George Washington. He says he has been told that he needs to return to the roots at the demand of the seven deities and wants Washington's help. He receives the advice of George Washington and is grateful. We cut to the Dome of Deletion and Matt tells Vanguard 1 that he's worried about his drinking. Jeff arrives and asks what's going on. Matt says he is going to be taken somewhere and will completely transform into the King of Gold, but asks if Nero can house his abilities in Nero's vessel. Nero agrees and transform begins. Matt says he knows not where the deities will send him, and Neo has a premonition that Matt will be sent to Egypt. Matt grabs Vanguard 1 and teleports away. Tonight we are all welcome to the marriage of Laura Van Ness and Braxton Sutter, produced by the First Lady of Wrestling, Maria. We get to the Impact Zone and Cody and Brandy Rhodes are heading to the ring. We see Moose and Mini Moose taking on Crazy Steve and Rosemary. We saw them repeat what happened last week. Cody says his experience here was cut short by Bobby Lashley and he knows Lashley is huffing and puffing and sweating him, but Cody isn't here for Lashley. He's here for Brandy Rhodes, who he hears is referred to in some circles as Mini Moose. Cody invites the man who helped save Brandy from decay to ring Moose. Moose comes to the Impact Zone. Cody cracks up as Brandy does the Moose Chew arm pump and holds the rope open for Moose. Dueling Moose and Brandy chants start. Cody thanks Moose on the behalf of the Rhodes and says he is one of them. Moose tells Cody that they have his number if they ever need him for anything. Moose has a back. Cody pauses. He asks Brandy's, you have his number. Moose goes to say that Cody has it wrong, but Cody shuts him down. Cody says it's a wrestling business relationship 101. They're together on the show, the same place. What's next? They're going to sleep together. Moose says they are just friends. Cody says that Moose is a slut, and Brandy says that Cody's got to be joking. She knows her husband wouldn't come and embarrass her in public at her new job. Cody Styles waits and says he's joking. He says it was in bad taste. He kisses Brandy, shakes Moose's hand, then low blow. Cody takes off his jacket, attacks Moose, punching and stomping on him. Brandy yells at Cody. Cody responds by pulling Moose up and delivering Crossroads. Brandy checks on Moose. Cody points the Bullet Club gun at Moose before yelling at him. He tells Brandy to get out of the ring. They walk up the ramp and referees come to check on Moose. Yeah. I liked it, but I did feel they pulled that quick. They pulled the heel move very, very, very quick. It's something that quite surprised me. I thought, that at least they would have done the build-up. I know on other companies and other things he's doing, he's already playing the heel gimmick. I'm very surprised he's flipped heel so quickly. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they've done this so quick. They could have let it brew a little bit longer, but for that to be all of a sudden. Then we had a commercial break, and moments ago, Cody turns on Moose in the back. Interviewer asks him. It shows the moment that Cody turned on Moose in the back. Interviewer asks him what happened back there. Cody yells to get away from his wife. In the back, Drake is talking about Tyrus, how he dropped the ball, and Tyrus has never been a fan of Drake. Drake says he has learnt the hard way that if you don't get right, you get left. And he's going to chop that dummy down. Tyrus says he's going to beat Drake like Drake owes him money, because he does. Eli Drake makes his way to the ring. Tyrus is already inside. Eli cuts his music, has a mic, and reminds Tyrus that no matter how many times he'd show up on Fox, he's not the star of the show. Eli Drake is. He says that Tyrus has to think about, is that right now? Eli's going to run Tyrus, and that's a fact of life. They tie up in the ring for a little bit. You see a shoulder tackle down on Eli. He escapes the ring, grabs the mic. He says, "Let's think about this for let's think about this for a second. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's rethink this." They're businessman. He says that Tyrus knows what the right thing to do is, and pokes Tyrus in the chest. Tyrus looks at him stupidly. Tyrus pokes Eli in the chest. Drake says he'll pay Tyrus to lay down, and then can pull that all behind him. Then Eli Drake says fine. They do it the Tyrus way. Eli circles, punches the referee. Drake laughs about it. Tyrus grabs him by the throat. Drake says he'll give him a pay rise. Next thing you know, Tyrus won't shake his hand. They hug it out. No contents. Yeah. I really didn't have a clue what they're doing with Eli Drake. It's just weird. It's the same thing. Tyrus being a heavy for another world champion contender. I don't know. It's just weird. Don't get it. In the back, Maria's getting ready for the wedding alongside with Sienna. Lauren wants to show off her new dress. Maria says she's proud of Lauren for being so tall and beautiful. Just waiting until she sees the rings. Maria asks where Ali is, because she's going to be the ring bearer. Maria can't wait. Then we hit the commercial break. Going back to Cameron. If you've got any opinions of what I'm saying or what I'm reading, post it down in the comments below. I do read all comments. Come back from commercial break. In Cameron, we pick up where we left off. Matt teleports to Egypt. Moments later, a golden boat appears. Nero said that his brother has turned into a boat, but Matt suddenly appears clocked in gold. He says that he's regained the knowledge of his first vessel from 7 AD. He says Swartzgard is now a golden ark. He will house every World Tag Team Championships until the 7 deities proclaim they're the greatest tag team in all space and time, and they teleport off to their destination. So Matt Hardy was an Egyptian royal in his past life. Yeah, why not? And also the boat looks a lot more cooler now it's gold, so yeah. We noticed Matt lost all the over-the-top mannerisms, and Jeff Hardy gained it because of the swap pattern. It's just funny. In the Impact zone, Jade stands in the middle of the ring. She states that the war between her and Rosemary is far over, that she's going to take the division back from Rosemary, and tells her to get her ass out of the ring. Rosemary obliges, laughing in the ring. She says Jade is a valid warrior of light, but she should be trying to save herself, and the entire division is waiting for their opponent. As she finished with Jade, and Jade says she's not finished with Rosemary. Jade says that after everything, they're both still standing. Jade asks Rosemary to get. Jade asks if Rosemary wants to get rid of Jade. Pardon me. Rosemary says yes. Jade challenged her to a last knockout standing match. Rosemary says she's got it, and Jade says the championship is coming home. I like it. I like the whole Jade and Rosemary thing. I hope it's the last one and it doesn't go on too long. It did feel like we didn't get many matches, and there was a lot, and I mean a lot of backroom talking and interviews and statements. Impact Wrestling was used to rely heavily on what are they going to do next, this, that, and the other. It just feels at the minute it's a bit heavy-handed on sections. Normally with TNA you'd have a few backstage bits, quite a few matches, and that's how it's always been. It seems there's more promos than matches. I don't know if they're doing that because of the lack. I hate using the word lack of talent. That's one thing that worries me, because to be honest, there is a lack of talent in TNA. It's one thing that worries me. But, with new owners, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. I was about to cover something else then. Yeah. After all that, where is it? Yeah. It showed later tonight, Lauren and Braxton, they'll go off without a hitch. Commercial break. We come back. Braxton is calling someone. Mike Bennett comes up and asks Braxton if he's ready for the big day. Braxton says no. Bennett says that the marriage is a process, even if she doesn't admit it when she's wrong or share. Braxton says that it has to do with Ali. Mike says that Maria said she'd take care of Ali. Bennett says that when things get tough for him, he hits the source, and it'll probably work out for Braxton too. In the Impact Zone, the DCC make their way to the ring. Now, for me, this next section I'm going to read is disappointing for me, because I do not like the way it's being done. I do not like the way the DCC are being slightly buried now. I believe the DCC should be the top faction. Yes, we've got the Hardys as the top tag team, but the DCC should be the top faction in Impact Wrestling. It should be the team that people think, shit, I've got the DCC, shit. Panic alarms should be going off when you've got to go against the DCC. And I don't get that. I don't get that feeling with this. And to me, that's worrying. But we saw Bram with Kingston going up against Jesse Goddard. Right, I know his in-ring's getting better, but I just don't like Goddard. In Bromance, he was bearable on his own. Don't like him. But anyway, we saw Kingston up on the apron. Goddard's knocked him down. Bram tries to take a... Hang on, I don't... Right. It was an okay match. Bram's the vicious one, knocks people down. I'm missing that side of Bram. I want to see that viciousness of Sam from him. Like we saw when he took on Magnus. Where's that Bram gone? It's got to be a 1-star match to me, because it was... the DCC had promise, and now it was just like, hey? And also, we haven't been told why the Bromans stopped tagging together. Anyway, the Hardys arrive in a dressing room. They demand to know where the champions are two men called the Mid-Atlantic Outlaws challenge the Hardys for a number one contender. But one of the men in the back convinces them otherwise, and the current champs haven't been defeated in 12 years. Matt says he will delete their tag team championships. In the back, the girls are getting drunk when Ali shows up. Marie yells at her, says that she being here isn't an option. Lauren tells Ali that she is horrible and leaves. Lauren taunts her as she leaves. She walks out and runs into Braxton. Ali asks him if this is what he really wants, and Braxton says he doesn't understand and that he has to do this. Back in Mid-Atlantic, the Hardys run into the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Champions and incur a brawl, and they agree to meet in the ring. Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship match, the Hardys versus Rage and Mathis. It was just carnage. It was just clips of the Hardys hitting up with some backstage attacks. Hardys were going to win, of course. I quite enjoyed it, to really. You know, even though it was in some gymnasium, you know. And the lads they were against did look like they were in their mid-20s, so... I do think we should, you know, it'd be better to get a whole match instead of just some clip hits, but... Josh Barnett does a camera interview, says he's not impressed with Lashley. We cut to a break. Back to the Impact side. Bad Bone waits in the ring as Lashley walks out and takes a seat at commentary, but not before shaking the hands of Bad Bones. See, Bad Bones is another wrestler underutilised. Yes, he's a trainer at the Al Snow Academy. He is a good wrestler. He's been there. He's been around the circuit. He can hold his own. I cannot understand why he is not used as a full-time wrestler. They need more talent. Why not use Bad Bones? So we saw Bad Bones taking on the War Master Josh Bennett. It was a good match. I'm probably going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. I did like Josh Bennett's key lock. You know, I know some people are upset about Josh Bennett and it coming to Impact from MMA World and getting a shot at the World Championship. You know, I do think Josh Bennett shouldn't have an opportunity just yet. You know, there's other guys that should deserve a chance before him, but, you know. It also says next we're going to see DJZ taking on Trevor Lee later. Later than the wedding. Oh. Right. I'm getting really, really fed up with certain parts of TNA. I'm really getting fed up with the X Division. You know, the X Division was the main key of TNA. Now it's just sloppy poop. I was going to say something else, but I thought I'll go with sloppy poop. It sounds nicer than what I was going to say. Yeah. They really, really need to sort the X Division out. I think that should be their main thing to do. You know, get some bloody guys in. Build that division up. Bring it back to how it used to be going from 05 to 09. That's what they really need to do. It was a good match. We saw Trevor Lee cheat at the end, holding the tights up to get the 1, 2, 3. 2 out of 5 match. You know, it was pretty well. It was same thing as again. There was nothing. But we did see DJZ being saved by Andrew Everett, and the crowd loved it. So that's, you know, they're building that up. I wonder if next week's going to be a tag team match with Andrew Everett and DJZ taking on Trevor Lee and Hurricane Helms. In the back, Maria asks Braxton, is he ready? Or is he having second thoughts? Maria is here to remind Braxton what is happening. Braxton says he needs to stop. Maria says it will stop as soon as Braxton marries Laurel. Does she make her clear? Do I make myself clear? Braxton says yes. In the Impact Zone, the ropes are gone. Ring is decorated red carpet, trails, everything's all ready for the wedding. We see Rockstar Spud and Aaron Rex are serving as flower girls. Well, Spud is. Anyway, Rex is just enjoying the fur coats and flower petals. Maria and Sienna come down next. The plays Here Comes the Bride. Lauren Van Ness makes her way down, stands there. You know, it was actually quite a good scene. It reminds me of the past, you know, when we seen Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and, you know, the old school mentality. But the thing I loved about this part of the show wasn't actually the wrestlers, it was the fans. When he says, does anybody object? And you hear the fans, we object, we object. Awesome. This is what I miss. I miss the interaction from the fans. Impact Wrestling, the fans have been a bit quiet. I want to hear the fans more. Then Lauren gets on to reading her vows, and the crowd is chanting "Just say no" repeatedly. Laura's acting this, you know, the selfish brat. The crowd erupts into another "We object" chant. Maria shuts the crowd down and says her stupid assistant Ali must have forget. Yeah, she basically tells Ali to deliver the rings. Maria loses her mind, yelling at Ali. The ceremony continues. Lauren tells Braxton to have and to hold, etc., etc., etc. Then Ryback says he's sorry, but he doesn't, and Rex looks shocked, and Braxton says he can't stand being around Lauren. Some guy out there will love being made miserable by her, but it's not for him. Besides, he's in love with someone else. It would have been funny if he said Aaron Rex or Spud. He says he's in love with Ali. Maria freaks out, asks if Braxton has lost his mind. Braxton said that Maria's blackmailing him into the relationship with Lauren by threatening Ali's job. Braxton has had enough. Maria says and puts the big boy pants on today. Maria says that's something she's got to do about it. She turns and fires Ali. Ali grabs the max and says, she can't fire me, I quit. I liked it. It was painfully long, but I liked the crowd. I like the statements. I like when Maria said to Brian something, if someone's put their big point pants on today, you know, it was brilliant. And it has been a while since we've seen a wedding, you know. I can't think when the last one was. I know in TNA the last one was EY and ODB, I think it was. So it has been a while. But the show was a bit meh. It weren't good, but it wasn't bad. It was just a bit okay. You know, previous shows I've praised Impact Wrestling. Today's show I can't praise it that much. I feel a bit let down by it. But that's just my honest opinion, and I can't believe I've been running for 35 minutes going on about this. Normally my show's about 15, 18 minutes max, but Jesus, I am getting it all out today. But yeah, I think it was an average show. I think there's a lot of bits could have done better. For me, the main moments were the Hardys and the end of the show. I just thought it was funny as hell, brilliantly done. But yeah. One thing I am going to quickly say before I go, Shop TNA are doing their 5 T-shirts for $20. If you're in the UK, works out to... Google it. I'm going to be ordering 10. So, you know, I've got my Hardy one, I've got my Kenny King, I've got my Wolves one upstairs. Even though they're split off Wolves up. Really not happy with them splitting the Wolves up. And I've got my other bits, so I'm going to be ordering more. So then I'll eventually have 15 TNA tops, and and then I'm stopping after that. I can't afford it. It's costing me more because I've got to pay shipping, and because it's international shipping, and it's like, oh my god, yeah. I won't look how much it costs. Just click on it. Yeah, it's done. So, big thank you to everybody listening. I am talking with someone at the moment about becoming a co-host on the Impact Review Show. Once that's all been sorted, I will keep you updated on Twitter. Tomorrow is the Raw review, so I'll be covering everything Raw, my opinions, and everything else. And one thing I want to say, you don't have to agree with me, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and this is what wrestling's about. Everybody likes different stuff. It's good to talk about it, We're the fans, everyone's different. We all like different things. But for me, this is my opinions, and I've got to admit, it was very blasé. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow at 9 PM GMT. This is Ashley Friend out.